Good afternoon. We are back with Grandma Tanner. She's going to be cooking again today. She seems to cook every Thursday at 3 o'clock for some reason. But today we're going to do the good seasoned salad dressing that Grandma has made for us all the time. It is really good on cucumbers, which she'll be putting it on today. And then we're going to do our warm corn relish dip, which you can buy the corn relish to make this with here in the party. So we're just whipping that up real nice and creamy there. And then we have 16-ounce jars of corn relish. So we're going to put about 3/4 of this in. And this corn relish is not to be confused with the corn salsa. Right? About 3/4, 12 ounces. If you get it off a little bit, it doesn't make any difference. So you whip that in there. Real easy dip mix, and it's great for chips, crackers, and then I have 1 cup of shredded Colby cheese. Whip that in there. Just whip it all together. See, you got your apron back. Was it at the cleaners? Something like that. One of the girls thought we should wear that apple apron, and Jenny said, "No, Grandma, you need to wear your old apron that you always wear." So I put that back on. It was in my locker. I don't know why you never spill anything on it. It's all this cooking. So this is what it looks like, all whipped up. Now there's a couple things that you can do with this after it's all whipped up. It's so easy. You can put it in a little crock, pop that in the microwave, and to make it really look pretty, sprinkle a little bit more cheese on top. And it's a great thing for taking to a party. Another option is you put it in one of these little mini crock pots and just keep it on warm at your party for crackers, chips, anything. And this recipe, Karen, one of our gourmet food manager, she came up with this recipe, didn't she? Well, we found this at another farm. Oh, here, I thought Karen did it this whole time. Well, she had me fooled. Yeah, it's pretty close. Still a little bit more whipping down there on the bottom. It is a really good dip. We serve it almost every day out there as a sample in the market with chips. Uncle Harold's watching. Oh, he is? Yep. Oh, boy, I better really be good. He's going to come down here and get him some. He'll be down here later. Sample it. Mm-hmm. Okay, then you just fill this crock full. And this will actually make a couple crocks. And then stick it in the microwave? Yeah, you can just drizzle a little, if you're going to take it for someplace, drizzle a little bit more cheese on top, and that just kind of dresses it up. So that's all for that. I'll put this in the back. I can't wait till that's warmed up. This is one of my favorite dips. I make sure to get a sample every time I'm out in the market. Okay, now next will be our the salad dressing. So this can be a little noisy with this blender going. Plug this thing in. This is one of our favorite salad dressings. And it calls, Jenny's got the recipe there, but 1.5 cups of sugar. I usually put 1.5 cups in here. This does make 1 quart of salad dressing, so it makes quite a bit. And then the vinegar, 1 cup of vinegar. We just use apple cider vinegar, of course. Don't want to use anything else. Now, if you can add like another 1/4 of a cup if you want it just a little bit more, which sometimes I do that. And then a 1/4 of a cup of water, because that's quite a bit of sugar in there. So we thin this down a little bit. And then 1½ teaspoons of salt.
That crock with that salt, Grandma Tanner's had that in her kitchen my whole life.
Yep. I think
So
we
I
sold those little crocks, and I thought, oh, that is a good little crock. So I've got some Watkins pepper here, which I like Watkins. 1/2 teaspoon of pepper. 1 teaspoon of granulated onion. Now, you probably could use a fresh onion in here, just maybe a 1/2 cup of onion or so. Put it in the blender. And some garlic. This only takes a few minutes to make.
That's still her salt teaspoon there that she's using.
Yeah, I just use the same spoon.
It's always in that.
Okay, now turn that blender on high for a while. I forgot the good seasoned salad dressing in it.
I was just wondering.
So anyway, you buy these little packets of good seasoned salad dressing, and you pour that in there and blend it.
Did you not bring one down?
Grandma forgot to bring one down. So anyway, you put that in there and you keep blending it. You know what? I'll do it later. It'll be okay. Now, you get that blended up there really good, and you put 1 cup of oil. I just use canola oil. And it calls for 1.5 cups of oil. Now, you don't have to put the olive oil, but I think it gives it a really good flavor.
So you put 1 cup of canola and 1/2 cup of olive?
Yep. And you blend it. Sometimes I leave this blender on and pour the salad dressing real slow in there. So that's blended pretty good except for the seasoning. Good seasons. So I'm going to let it in here because we have to get that salad dressing or the good seasons. Now I was going to show you this cute little gadget. We used to sell these. And my mother-in-law gave this to me. And we found them out in Indiana about 10 years ago. And I ordered a whole bunch of them. I only had one left, and I gave it to a friend because she wanted it. But I called the company the other day, and guess what? The, what is that company that's for safety?
OSHA?
OSHA. Told them they couldn't sell them anymore. I thought, oh boy, that's too bad. But anyway, it is very sharp, so someone has probably cut their finger on it. You just have to be really careful and keep your fingers away from that blade because it looks like a...
What in the world? You had us cutting cucumbers like that when we were probably 6 years old.
I know it.
We didn't cut our fingers.
Well, someone must have. So it slices them very thin. And this is how my husband and our family really like these little cucumbers. There is a machine that you can buy that will do the same thing, but then it's a bigger appliance in your house. I like this thing because it just goes right in there.
It's kind of like a slaw cutter, ain't it?
It is. It's almost like a slaw cutter. We have one of those old antique slaw cutters around here somewhere. So about 3 cucumbers. And then if you like onion, you can slice your onion in this thing also. It makes it real nice and thin. So when you get to the back, to the end of this cucumber, you better be careful. So I don't usually do the very end, I just eat them. So here's your cucumbers. A bowl like that. You put this dressing on there. And then I have some tomatoes I've already cut. This is like 3. Some of our homegrown tomatoes.
Logan? Those are Logan's homegrown or from
Logan Piles, yes.
Yep. He works for us. He's worked for us since he was 16 years old, and he brings.
Now he's working in the bakery cooking. But they sell these over at the FFA in Midland.
The plants.
They're called Summer Sweet.
Little yellow ones.
Sun Sweet. So you just mix that all together. And then you pour this dressing over it, and you have your salad.
And so, we would pour the dressing over it, but what did we forget? We forgot the main ingredient in the dressing at the house.
Grandma was just not with it today, I'll tell you.
Grandma was busy.
We were busy. Then I had a friend. I ate lunch with him, 2 friends, so didn't get it all done. But anyway, you put it in there, and I really like these glass quart jars. This will make this clear full.
What? Wait a minute. That clear glass jar looks really familiar, Grandma Tanner. Where's that one from?
It's from our corn salsa. Because when you put salad dressing in a plastic container, eventually that plastic container gets a little sticky. So I really like these. And I have several in my basement.
She recycles her glass jars.
Yes. So that's about it.